into a fight that I've actually ever been because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is. It's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure, for sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages
Yeah,
in
90
the whole
something
entire
percent,
boxing.
right?
Exactly. Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning, he's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like
Yeah.
this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis. How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just
Wow.
sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed, and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to like lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
Like, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the heavyweight, the level of heavyweight that, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up.
Things out there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's got power in both hands. And skill wise and technique wise, he's been doing this for a day, right? You have to understand, I went from doing YouTube and Disney Channel to 5 years, once to twice a day, 6 to 7 days a week, training, recovery, taking it more serious than ever. I'm just a different specimen. My body is filled out. I'm going into my athletic prime and going into that and my body filling out, I just feel amazing and feel super strong.
Had been throwing fits a few weeks ago when Gervonta had announced that he would be fighting Jake Paul in, I believe it's coming up in just about a month, or a little bit less than a month, and that he would not be, at least immediately, he would not be rematching Lamont Roach. So people went all up in arms. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, who even right now is claiming that Gervonta Davis is going to go try to fight in WWE or something like that when he gets done with Jake Paul. But the truth of the matter is that Gervonta Davis is coming back to boxing. He's always said that he's coming back to boxing. He said he's going to run off, get this bag real quick, and he'll be right back. Well, as you see, the 135-pound WBA.
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, a high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar.
This is the first camp I can, enjoy myself and be back. My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's the only thing that mattered to me.
Bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. He's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back. This story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened. Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. You might knock all the ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Because I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring.
The anticipation has reached its boiling point. Under the glare of the arena lights, the stage is set for one of boxing's most polarizing showdowns, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. It's the influencer turned fighter against the born champion, the bold disruptor against the silent technician. This isn't a clash of styles, it's a clash of worlds. Inside Tank's camp, focus borders on obsession. Every move he makes has intent. Every punch, every feint, every bead of sweat drips with discipline. Pressure makes diamonds, he mutters between rounds, his gloves echoing through the gym like thunder. His sparring partners come and go, most unable to withstand his rhythm and timing. Tank's approach isn't about overpowering opponents, it's about dismantling them piece by piece, thought by thought. He's fought bigger men, faster men, and still emerged untouchable. For him, Jake Paul is just another name on the list. His team believes this fight is personal. People think it's a spectacle, one coach said. Tank's here to prove it's a massacre. Behind that calm demeanor lies quiet ruthlessness, a promise that once the bell rings, there will be no mercy, no hesitation, only precision. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's camp is equally charged. The cameras still follow him, but what they capture now is different, a fighter reshaping his story. Gone are the jokes and flashy sound bites. What remains is grit. They'll believe me when they see me, Jake says. His trainers echo that sentiment, pushing him through brutal sparring sessions with elite pros. He's lost the weight, gained sharpness, and built his style around power and counterpunching. Every punch is practiced with purpose, a statement that he belongs in this world. This version of Jake isn't chasing fame, he's chasing respect. He's sparring southpaws, analyzing Tank's movements, studying every micro adjustment. His nutrition team fine-tunes his conditioning so he can go the distance.
Where's Jake Paul?
I feel like it's going to be a good fight, entertaining. It's an exhibition, so we're going to see how serious they really take it. But I don't know, they both getting a lot of money, so, congrats to them.
What if you had it, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweights, and even me, I spar heavyweights, So the weight's not really too much, for a lot of great fighters, so I feel like Tank will get it for sure.
Do you think he kind of be an advantage because he's small and fast? Someone said that. I'm I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly. He gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming. He can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is gonna be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's gonna give him a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts because a lot of people think it's hard, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy. It's a small target, they're very fast, so we'll have to see how he adapts to it.
Wait, and is Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson really happening?
Yeah, that's happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a date already, or what's going on?
I don't think there's a date yet, but it's definitely an official fight and it's happening.
So what do you got to say about that? What's going on?
It's gonna be a great show. Floyd's gonna do his thing. Hopefully I'm on the undercard so I can put on a great show as well.
No, really? You guys already talked about that?
Not yet, no, but we'll have to see. Yeah, for sure.
And are you gonna fight again this year? What's next with you, Carmel?
I don't know. At the moment, we haven't heard nothing. We're just waiting, staying patient, staying ready. But I should be back at least one more time before the end of the year.
Money to help him in camp, some easy money to come spar somebody or whatever. Go get your money, right? But what's funny to me is for someone who had nothing positive to say about this fight, and someone who was critical of Tank Davis for taking this fight and tried to shit on Tank Davis for taking this fight, he sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of it. He sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of the fight. And then to take that a step deeper and a step further, for someone who doesn't want to talk about Tank Davis anymore, he sure is making moves to ensure that he is continued to be mentioned with Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson's not stupid. The new firm that he hired to do his PR work and get him to do these interviews and try to enhance his brand, they not stupid. Jay Prince not stupid. Josh Dubin not stupid. The people around Shakur Stevenson have been building social media brands, building boxers, and building talent in different industries at the same time. I mean, for a long time. They know how this shit works. They not dumb. They know the conversation that is going to surround Shakur helping Jake Paul. Tank Davis' biggest rival going to camp to help Jake Paul. If Jake Paul has any kind of success in the fight, Jake Paul was successful because Shakur Stevenson is on a different level and he helped prepare Jake Paul for the fight with Tank. That's why Jake Paul did so good. They know this, bro. And to me, that's the problem that I always have with these guys like Shakur Stevenson. You can throw Lamont Roach in there. You can throw Devin Haney in there, bro. You can throw Keyshawn Davis in there if you want to. My issue is they won't admit what it is. And I guess it's an ego thing, it's a pride thing, because I get it.
The WBA, where he holds his 135-pound championship, has not stripped him. They said that they were going to look into it if he had not rematched Lamont Roach, but nothing ever really came of that. So as of right now, he still has his 135-pound title. But I'm telling you, the way that things are panning out, I don't think he's going to go back down to the 135-pound division. I think he's going to go to the 140-pound division where really and truly all the smoke is there. Add to it the fact that when he fights Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting Jake Paul at a higher weight than he would necessarily be fighting guys at 135 pounds. You're probably not going to see him drain down for the fight. I don't think he's going to bulk up at all. But usually even when guys play with their weight and they go up and allow themselves to fight at a higher weight or fight people at a higher weight class.
He's not the same YouTuber, one insider said. He's living like a real fighter now. That hunger, that defiance gives his camp a dangerous kind of confidence. The experts can't agree. Teddy Atlas calls it a fascinating imbalance. One man with experience, one man with momentum. Others point out that Jake's size advantage could make the difference if Tank doesn't close distance early. But those who know Tank say his patience is his deadliest weapon. He waits, he studies, and then he detonates. One commentator warned. Adding fuel to the fire, Floyd Mayweather recently hinted that this fight might redefine modern boxing. It's the future, he said. You can't ignore it. Social media and real boxing are merging, but skill still rules, always. His words struck a nerve, capturing what's at stake for both men, not just victory, but validation.
Fire. I get the chance to pick a great business mind brain and help give him some game in the process. I'm down. Oh, we know you're down. So for one, you look like you hating on Tank, bro. Like you specifically. Two, this is the same guy that said he's not watching the fight, but now you're somewhat taking part in the fight because you're trying to gather or help prepare Jake Paul for the fight. And then this is what Shakur Stevenson does, in my opinion. Shakur will make questionable choices, do certain things, right? And then afterwards, he'll be like, yeah, now that I got y'all attention, I got everybody mad at me. Bro, the stuff you're doing is weird. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, to me, it's almost close to like Karen behavior, in the sense that Karens, you see some of these Karens and they do all this extra stuff and then act like the victim. And I told you that's one of the main problems with Gen Z, right? Where Gen Z, they will do just weird things, make weird choices, make weird decisions, and then they'll act like, man, I'm Tupac, me against the world, everybody's against me. Everybody's not against you. You're just doing weird things. You're making weird decisions. It's weird behavior, so on and so forth. So let's ultimately recap. We got to do the Boxing Ego recap to see what's really going on here.
Says 150 to 200 mil.
That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money?
I mean, it's Netflix.
Okay. Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
No. 20 million, I would believe, not 200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, but there's no pay-per-view model. So, and Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40 I can get.
Oof, that's a lot.
40 I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40.
Yeah.
But Gervonta Davis, he was, especially on Showtime, he was a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist. 200 mil is just completely false.
Man, I mean,
you swipe. What it says? Swipe to read more. What else does it say?
No, there's nothing there. That's probably from the original.
God, Jake is so much bigger.
Yeah,
Jake Paul and Tank Davis.
I don't understand how that's happening though.
I mean, that's kind of what Jake Paul does, right?
That nigga's 7'8", 6. I'm not saying 7'8". Like the nigga's 6'4".
So you think Jake wins?
Yes.
This is kind of like the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight, and Mayweather, he got the better of Logan for sure. I think Logan's even bigger
than Jake. Fuck no.
Logan's bigger than Jake. Yeah, bigger. Yeah, but Jake's now a more experienced boxer than probably Logan was at that time.
I don't know. That weight shit mean that shit is a real thing.
What's the odds on that shit? I wonder. Not out yet.
Who do you think will win out of Canelo?
I don't really follow boxing like
Canelo,
that.
Man. I like
Canelo.
I like my boy, but Canelo's just
Canelo's a beast.
He not old. He still got it. He hit hard as a motherfucker. And then like the fighters he fought and lost to was some dogs though. Like most people won't get in the ring with him. So it's like I feel like I don't know. Has he got this? I don't know. I feel like he gonna land though. What's that? What's the odds on that?
Oh, listen to this. Davis is minus 205 to beat Jake Paul. Jake Paul's plus 155.
Wow, that's tight odds. Tank Davis is minus 205. Jake Paul's 155 opening odds. Dude, that's crazy. I don't know.
Tank 5'2" though, but it's like he's so short.
Fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying the height difference is
like,
crazy.
is Jake even gonna be able to hit him? Like he's probably so fast. Tank's gonna be able to hit Jake.
He's short though.
Tank's gonna hit him a lot.
6 or some shit, right? How tall is Tank? 5'7". He's like 6'3". So different. That's
no, I know.
6'3" and big. Now technique, he got him in technique because he's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got to see that fight. That shit sound crazy.
You gamble on football? You sports bet?
He had to pay him a lot of money to that fight.
Oh, they're making so much money.
As fight night looms, both camps radiate quiet tension. Tank visualizes a swift finish, a showcase of precision and control. Jake envisions a war dragging the champion into deep waters and forcing him to adapt. Two mentalities, two destinies, one ring. When the bell rings, all noise fades. No critics, no headlines, just truth. One man will rise and the other will learn how unforgiving boxing's reality can be. So, fight fans, who's your pick? The seasoned tactician with ice in his veins, or the relentless outsider rewriting the rules of the game? One thing's certain, when these two collide, history won't stay silent.